Check it out! What's it all about? Then, well, I'm gonna tell you. Nvidia GPUs could be getting some imminent price hikes, with one report citing claims from industry insiders that some variants of the RTX 5090 could end up retailing for nearly $5,000 as soon as January 2026, a month in which many of you are currently already living. Comment below with how your 2026 is going so far. This alleged cost increase is almost certainly thanks to skyrocketing DRAM costs. RAM makes up a huge chunk of a graphics card's price. Now, I don't know if the 5,000 number is accurate, but the RTX 5090 launched at a $2,000 MSRP, and it's already hard to find anywhere under 3,000, which is so sad for the people just trying to scrape enough together to buy the most powerful gaming GPU on the planet. But it's becoming pretty clear that price hikes on PC components outside of just RAM and SSDs are inbound. For example, in a leaked letter to their partners, Asus is saying they'll raise prices on at least some products starting on January 5th, 2026. The letter indicates that memory and storage components are so expensive and scarce, that Asus can no longer absorb the cost. They'd like to absorb some more of your money instead. Wait a minute, January 5th? That's the first day of the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, where this year all the keynotes are just gonna be guys walking on stage to be like, welcome. Same but more expensive. Woo! Come on, please clap. AI. But actually, I take it back, because some companies are starting to pre-announce some of the fun and wacky tech they'll show off at CES. As is tradition, GameSir is teasing a wireless Swift Drive controller with a tiny steering wheel built right into the pad that provides force feedback effects for racing games, like the Namco JogCon PlayStation controller from back in 1998. Finally, I can drive virtual cars in modern games just like I do real cars, with both my thumbs in the middle of the wheel. Wait, whoa, watch out, you mess with the nerd, you get the horns. GameSir also showed off a full-on wireless wheel and pedal set with its own turbine fan to simulate airflow and haptic effects for total and complete immersion. Meanwhile, One Netbook teased the new OneXSugar wallet, an 8-inch gaming handheld with a folding OLED screen powered by a Qualcomm gaming platform flagship processor. My favorite type of Qualcomm gaming platform processor. Price and launch details are still up in the air, but I'm into that thing. It's like the handheld that could have been if Sony and Nintendo ended up working together after all, in the good timeline. Utopia. Speaking of Nintendo, Epilogue has shown off the SN Operator, a USB-connected dock that lets you plug your old Super Nintendo cartridges straight into a PC, Mac, or Steam Deck, and then play or archive them digitally with save backups and emulator support built in. It's $60 US and supposedly ships in April, which is great news for cartridge owners who don't want to fiddle with the DIY archiving kits out there. The not so great news, Nintendo may still find a way to sue your ass. They are just not as cool as our sponsor. Ugreen and their MagFlow magnetic power bank, the ultimate treasure for modern adventurers. With ultra-fast 25-watt wireless charging, it can revive my iPhone 17 Pro Max from 0 to 50% in just 38 minutes, fast enough to outrun rolling boulders. Its powerful magnetic hold keeps my phone secure even when I'm clinging to crumbling ledges, while the real-time LED display shows exactly how much power remains. 2 USB-C ports and a wireless charging pad let me charge 3 devices at once, and 30-watt, two-way fast charging with a built-in USB-C carry strap means I can recharge my gear, my Sherpa's gear, or the power bank itself mid-expedition. Compact, flight-safe, and tough enough for booby-trapped tombs, or, just going to work or school or whatever. Ugreen's MagFlow magnetic power bank keeps adventurers moving. Check it out in the link below. You might know the Quick Bits for their contributions to tech news, but they're also amazing battle rappers. Hey, they have a show tonight. You should, it's already over. Because they're so quick. Another RX 9070 XT has suffered a burn injury on its 12-volt 2x6 power connector, with Redditor Divine Threshold claiming it lasted a year before joining the extremely exclusive Melted 12-volt Connectors Club. I'm jealous. But at least he got a year of gaming out of it, unlike the guy who ordered a GPU and got rocks instead. Some good news for him though, he finally got his RTX 5080 from Best Buy after he figured out the shipping weight somehow mysteriously increased during transit. To celebrate, he got a tattoo of the Asus TUF logo on a pile of rocks. Not sure why you'd want to commemorate a shipping snafu in which someone stole an expensive item from you, but whatever sinks your boat. Game store GOG is officially breaking out on its own, if that's what you call parent company CD Projekt Red selling GOG to Michael Kaczynski, the original co-founder of both GOG and CD Projekt Red, who is now an independent entrepreneur despite still holding many CD Projekt Red shares. Anyway, the DRM-free storefront says nothing is changing for users. That's the important part. Your library is safe, but big changes are coming. GOG is teasing more ambitious plans to revive classic PC games starting next year. Basically, it's the same good old GOG old games, just readopted by its biological father, who was only partially absent, but is now giving this whole full-time parenting thing a shot. I call that character growth. The US is giving Samsung and SK Hynix temporary permission to keep shipping chip-making tools into their Chinese factories through 2026, easing pressure after earlier export waivers were revoked. The goal is to reportedly keep memory production running in the short term, especially as AI demand pushes prices even higher. But at the same time, China is pulling in the opposite direction. Beijing is now requiring chip makers to use at least 50% domestically made equipment when expanding their manufacturing capacity, forcing fabs to choose local tools even when foreign options could offer a cheaper solution. But are the chips still domestic if they're made by foreign machines? Hey, remember solar freakin roadways? No? That's okay, because now we have charging freaking roadways. Florida is building a highway that can wirelessly charge EVs while you drive. Yes, charging freaking roadways. A stretch of State Road 516 will have inductive charging coils underneath the asphalt, delivering up to 200 kilowatts to compatible cars as they roll along. It's meant to extend range, not fully charged vehicles, but it could definitely be a step in the right direction. Will it work? Maybe. Will it be wildly expensive and only support a handful of cars at first? Abso-frickin-lutely. Charging freaking roadways, man! Researchers at Northwestern University have developed a tiny, flexible under-scalp implant that could help restore lost senses by shining patterned light directly through the skull into the brain, which is something you can do, apparently. The wireless device avoids drilling into the brain and has already helped mice relearn how to interpret sensory signals. It sounds fantastic, as long as there's some sort of fail-safe to prevent a Pickle Rick situation. And Atlas Data Storage announced what it called the world's first scalable DNA data storage offering earlier this month. The system can pack up to 60 petabytes per liter of gene-carrying juice and could last for thousands of years. Sounds like something ChatGPT just came up with, but okay. Unfortunately, encoding and decoding data using the 4 chemical bases in DNA isn't really cheap or fast. Sequencing currently costs around $30 per roughly 250 gigabytes and takes significant time, so it won't be replacing tape at scale for years. Still, it's pretty cool. Soon we'll be living in less of a cyberpunk dystopia and more of a bio-sci-fi, genetically engineered dystopia. That's exciting. You know what else is exciting? That there's gonna be more tech news on Friday. So you should come back then. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you in 2026. Heck, depending on where you live, we might already be seeing you in 2026. Have they solved the RAM crisis yet over there? Let me know.